Well, hello there, everyone. Hi, how's it going? Good morning, good evening. Welcome to the April edition 2.0 of the MaxWebinar. Can you believe it is April? Oh my goodness. After next week, we're in May. Oh boy, where has time gone? It's almost time to get ready for Q4 too, you know, like we have to start preparing. It's, time's going fast. Anyway, my name is Andy and I'll be hosting today's webinar. I am talking to you guys all the way from South Africa, sunny South Africa. We are still enjoying a bit of the last bit of summer. Had a couple of fires on the mountain, but other than that, it's good. Okay, so before we get started, we have all of our lovely affiliate managers on the call today with us. They will be active in the chat. So if you have any questions at all, feel free to drop them in the chats and the managers would get back to you as soon as possible. And don't stress if it's not related to the webinar today or the presentation. If it's anything to do with verification or about the payments, because today is payday for a lot of our affiliates, very exciting. If you have any questions, please drop them in the chats and yeah, we'll get back to you. So let's get started. Okay, so as I said, our affiliate managers are here. They, please use them as your best friends because they are your best friends. I cannot emphasize this enough. Our affiliates are always busy with new offers. They're always finding new information, new strategies that are working. They know the ins and outs of everything campaign related, and they are definitely your go-to. Always feel free to ask any questions. We're there to help. If we can't help, we'll find someone that can. Our affiliate managers definitely put our affiliates first, and that is something that we pride ourselves at at MaxWeb. So take a screenshot if you want. We have dropped the Skype IDs in the chats. So copy them, add them to Skype, and let's get chatting. Okay, so a couple of important links. First of all, our campaigns page. This should be your second friend. We have, however, made the campaigns page private, so you will have to log in before you can view the campaigns. We have updated the information, added restrictions and geos to the sign-up pages, so it would be, you guys would have a lot more free access to the information instead of having to contact an affiliate manager. We try and put everything out there for you guys to make everything as easy as possible for you guys. The next page is our frequently asked questions page. This is the go-to page for especially new affiliates that are still getting to know MaxWeb and what we do and how things work and run around here. That's where you can find most of the answers. We have put it out as, we have tried to cover all aspects and all questions and everything, and it's there for you guys. Okay, next important two pages are our social media pages, Facebook and Instagram. So for Facebook, this is a great one. Please like us on Facebook, follow us, follow our page. That's where we share our weekly blogs. That's where we have tips and tricks. And then also our podcast is hosted live on Facebook. So go ahead, and that's where you can get access to everything. Our constant, that's where we update constantly our content that we put out. Next one is the blog page. If you have a free minute and you are in the mood for some light reading, that is where you can go, but be ready because you are going to be left with a bunch of actionable steps, new ideas and new things that you would want to implement immediately. Same goes for the YouTube channel. Please subscribe. That is where you can find webinars like this if you've missed it. That's where you can find it again. Our podcast, that's where we post our podcast as well. And then any other fun updates and content. Yeah, definitely check out YouTube. Okay. So, like I said, we have a podcast. Our next podcast is on next Tuesday, April 27th. That would be at 9 a.m. Pacific time and 12 p.m. Eastern, so noon. That would be hosted live on Facebook. So if you don't want to miss it, like the Facebook page, join the event, and you would get reminders. So you won't miss it. And then if you have any questions, that's where you have to be. So this week, Anna is chatting to Scott Ruick about email marketing tips. So if you are an email marketer, actually, if you are any kind of marketer, we all know, even if you use other traffic sources, we are constantly trying to build our lists, and eventually you're going to want to use those lists. So this would be a great way to check out how to do that and how to go about that. And if you do end up missing it on Facebook, you can catch it on Spotify, Apple, or Google. That is where we post our podcasts after the live event. So you can go subscribe there. They are Audible podcasts, or like audio podcasts as you know, but we do highly recommend you checking out Facebook and YouTube because there are visuals included, and we do ask our hosts to present presentations and to help you guys out, you know? Okay, so if you haven't seen yet, we have updated the back office to a new interface. So now when you log into your back office, you will be able to see all of your campaigns, active offers listed below with a table of general KPIs that you might need to see. It would give you a broad overview of what's happening within your account. But of course, if you want any more detail, you can still click on the campaign and you would be able to find your affiliate manager, your affiliate links, any restrictions, geos, and your creative links. So that is definitely worth checking out. And then for our affiliates that are always curious about payments, we have added a feature where you can go to the top date section. You can choose the range, last pay period, and then that is usually the previous Thursday to the previous Wednesday, and that's where you can check your commissions. We have a lot of affiliates asking us how much they are getting paid, so we are putting it in the back office for you. Self-service with an extra smile. Great. So top offers. First offer we have for this week is 6667 Diabacore, which is a diabetes offer, and that is exclusive. That's an exclusive offer at the moment. So you won't be able to find that on the campaigns page. You would definitely have to contact your affiliate managers. And it's performing beautifully on all platforms at the moment. It's very strong. And yeah, definitely give it a go. It has an $80 CPA. The conversion rate is at 1.65% with a EPC of $1.32. And then the next offer, you've seen this guy a lot lately. We've been promoting it quite frequently on social media. This is a very popular one. It's a very strong offer. It's 6568 BioFit. It's a weight loss offer. And we have increased the CPA on this one. So we have announced a $20 pay bump. Definitely contact your affiliate managers on this one. Definitely worth getting onto this one. It has a 3.3% conversion rate, and it is a very flexible offer. So it's something you can advertise to a wide range of audiences. You don't necessarily have to market it as weight loss mainly. Anyway, okay, EPC $2.64. Okay, and then our next hot offer is Memo Surge, which is a memory loss supplement. It is doing great on email, native, Facebook, and search as well. It has a $80 CPA, conversion rate of 3.53%, and then the earning per click there would be $2.82. So these are great offers that come highly recommended. If these don't float your boat or suit you at all, definitely inbox, ping your affiliate managers on Skype. You can also email them directly or send them an email, and we would take the time to help and find you offers that would suit you and your traffic. We do have a wide range. Like I said before, our affiliate managers team, they are very educated in, or very informed about the offers and the campaigns, as well as the traffic and how it's performing. So if the offers that we do feature, if it's not something entirely for you, but you are looking for something similar, but with a different twang, hit us up and we will definitely find a good pairing for you. We are always happy because it's always a win-win-win. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So let's start. I want to follow up with you guys, everyone on the call. Welcome again. If you are joining, we have a good 39 friends online today. I want to follow up. If you joined us with previous webinars, have you used any spy tools? Did you guys try any of them out? How has it been going? If you did, please drop it in the chats. If not the spy tools, have you maybe looked into other social media strategies, growing social media platforms, like other growth hacking tips, and then everything we discussed the last time on the webinar. And then also, did everyone end up downloading TikTok like I recommended? Have you guys been getting lost in the deep, dark black hole of TikTok that is just magic? I would definitely like to hear from you guys. Okay. So for today, we will be chatting about the 7 powerful headline formulas to convert more affiliate traffic into sales. So it's all about headlines, and let's talk about it. Okay, wait, let's go to the questions. Lol, haven't tried TikTok. How is that working out for you guys? So David, to go back, 2 weeks ago, I mentioned to everyone that TikTok is a very good app to go viral organically. So even trying ads, I don't see a need for that. But as an advertiser, it's a good way to look into how the algorithm works and the interface and just the interaction between TikTok and consumer. It's a quite good one to analyze as an advertiser, just in general. Okay, anyway, back to headlines. Sorry about that. Okay, how much thought do you put into your headlines? When you start writing copy, if it's either for an ad, for a blog, your email subject lines, whatever form of headline, how much time do you spend writing those? Some people I know, I mean, I have been guilty myself. It happens. You are so focused on the content of your email or your documents, excuse me, that you just skip over the headline and you think people will catch up later. But I have some sad news for those copywriters. So what I wrote is, don't judge a book by its cover, judge a post by its headline. And that's the truth of internet marketing. That's the truth of internet content. So content lives and dies at the headline. It is the place where people would ask themselves to read or not to read. And that instinctual question is a millisecond. You need to be fast and you need to capture a reader quick on a headline to click, because we know our thumbs are automatic scrollers and our eyes need to follow instead of the other way around. Even great headlines don't guarantee anybody would keep reading. That's the other case. They might like what they see. click the link, and then they might just bounce after the first paragraph. So you probably know that already. But do you know how to make 100% sure that your words thrive in the online market? And then, well, it starts with getting more people to click in the first place. So like I said, we have to stop scrollers, we have to stop users to click. And that's for any platform that you, or a traffic source that you're running ads on. People need to stop and click. So yes, some might still bounce, but if you can get the right information in that headline, in that first split second, that first impression, you can persuade people to keep reading to the end, even if the middle part might lose them a bit, if that makes sense. Okay. So the first thing to our little recipe of headlines is you have to use numbers. Numbers is a great way to emphasize a headline. It stands out. If you look at the font size, literally a number would always be a little bit bigger. It would be capital letter size, so bigger than lowercase capitals, lowercase letters, so it stands out. Most high click-through articles use numbers, and they are list-based. List-based articles are very good for the quick reader. So especially marketers like us, for example, me, myself, and I'm a list reader. I can't read news articles because the attention, it doesn't keep my attention. So list-based, it's quick to scroll. I know I need to get through 3 points. I need to get through 7 points. It's a good way, it's a good flow of a type of article to write, or it's good for flow, just in general, for the user. Okay, headlines with numbers have dominated reader preferences for years. Studies have shown that number-focused headlines are 15% more effective than any other type of headline. And then women are even a stronger preference for number-based headlines. So if you are a marketer promoting female products to a female audience, definitely try using numbers. I think I can't tell you why that would be, some psychological gender situation, I don't know. A good thing to remember is that there are 3 types of readers. So you have headliners. So those would be good readers. A good example of that would be if you're driving and you have news headlines next to the road. They tell you a lot of information. You don't need to read the article. We get it. Then you have sub-headline readers or list readers. For me, example, read the headline, click in, or click through, but I would only read the subheadings or the numbered points. And for example, not read the paragraph, depending on the time I spend, depending on the time of day. And then thirdly, you get the detailed readers. Those are the readers that read through everything. Okay, just a reminder, if you guys do have questions, I am keeping an eye out on the questions or on the chat, so please drop it in there if you have questions. Let me see if something has popped up before I continue, just so you can make sure everything's caught up. Oh, Anna's asking, how can we get a sweatshirt? That's a good one. I can leave this for after, or I can answer it now because it is an exciting one. If you are looking to get some MaxWeb swag, definitely we are looking, scratch that. To get some MaxWeb swag, all you have to do is refer other affiliate friends to your affiliate manager. And the small print is that all they have to do is have 5 sales within their first month with MaxWeb. But if you are an affiliate with us, if you are a friend of us, you know very well that 5 offers are very easy to make. So that's all you have to do. Just refer a friend and we will send a box your way. Thank you for the question, Anna. David said, loving MaxWeb. You guys are awesome, especially Carol. Carol is awesome. She's the newest addition to the team, a great affiliate manager. And, but everyone's great, so get to know everyone. How does Diabacore compare to the old sugar balance offer? So if an affiliate manager can maybe help me out with that question, that would be great. It's amazing having you here, David. Okay, there you go, Carol, well done. Carol is the best. David, I've answered your question on TikTok. Haven't tried TikTok. How's that working on for you guys? Like I said, it's just for user experience that I recommended it. Advertising, definitely something else to look into. Hi everyone. Oh, so many friends. Anna said TikTok works well for some campaigns and the traffic is cheaper than Facebook. So there you have it. And then Fiaz has a question. You can just drop it in the chat. What percentage are in these 3 categories, Janet? You might have to explain this question so I can answer it properly. Sorry about that. I'm not entirely sure which 3 categories you are referring to right now. Fiaz, I'm not able to run my campaigns due to blockage of account, Google Ads account suspended, Bing Ads suspended. So I'm not entirely sure how to handle with blocked accounts and suspended accounts. So if any of our affiliate friends has any suggestions on that, definitely please help Fiaz out. That would be an amazing help. Robert, I'm loving MaxWeb too. And thank you, Timur. Very powerful session, thanks. Oh, Janet, headlines, subheadlines, detailed readers percentage. I am not sure on those percentages. I can definitely go and find them for you, but yeah, I'm not sure. It would definitely be something. Thank you for that question. Is it possible to get a recording of the webinar after it is finished? I have access only now. Sorry. Alessandro, don't worry about it. You can catch us on YouTube. So you can just go to MaxWeb, the MaxWeb page on YouTube and see the webinar there. Anyway, okay, so 4 questions. I'm sorry about that. 3 types of readers. Okay, also use artificial numbers and get oddly specific. So artificial numbers would be numbers, for example, a good one that came out recently was Ariana Grande's song. I know it's a funny example, but the title of the song was literally 34 plus 35. And then if you added it up, it would create a number, 69, and then that would refer to the song. So that is a great way of using numbers to almost make a puzzle out of your headline. I don't know. Or other numbers that are starting to make a rise now, especially in the holistic space, is something like angel numbers, double ones, like double digits. And then 42, the answer to everything in the universe. So use different types of numbers that stand out, not just your normal 2 or 3. Yeah. If you do write your headlines, use digits. Do not type out the word. There's no need. It doesn't stand out and it gets lost within the other text and the other headlines. Deliver the correct number of items. I have had this happen to me before. Clicked on a headline that promised me 3 solutions to a problem. And when I clicked in, there was no list. It was not a list format at all. It was a paragraph format, and I had to dig to find the information. That was not what you promised in your headline, sir. Like I said, use numbers for emphasis. For example, your gifts multiplies by 28 times. Tone your legs in just 3 minutes a day. Use multiples of 5 and odd numbers. So multiples of 5 and odd numbers are numbers that have a higher click-through rate, about 20% more effectiveness. I think it's because it's easier to remember. So the mind remembers 3 new pieces of information rather than 2, because 2 it would compare with just the one and the other, where 4 is also, again, weird, and then 5 would be better for memory. So it's all about consumption. With your headlines, always think about the person consuming it. Put yourself in their shoes, look at their problems. For example, if you are advertising a hair loss product, put yourself in the shoes of the person struggling with hair loss, and that's all they can think about. And that's a good way to start writing headlines, is to start reading the headlines as if you were to be the consumer. And then use small numbers for steps. So definitely do not go over 10 steps if you do end up listing or creating a step-based essay. Okay. So the next part to the recipe is say it in 7 or less. More people read your headlines than they will ever read your content. And if you start practicing mindfulness and looking at your own interaction with social media, you would also notice that we scan headlines and we end up not clicking through to any articles, except for that 1% or that 2% of the time. Most of them won't even read the entire headline either. So if your headline is too long, I mean, people are fast readers. They read every second word, maybe only the first part. Okay, so this is my next point. Readers focus on the first and the last 3 words of a headline. So as a reader, if you go through a list of headlines, you see the first 3 words. If it seems applicable to you, you jump to the last 3 words, because that's usually where the conclusion is of, or that's where the topic would be, or the content of the post. So you go from the one to the back, from the front to the back. Another thing to keep in mind is language vocab and information retention, and how people remember content. So consumption of information is speeding up. The brain also becomes easily intimidated by content and information. A lot of times I would see articles that might interest me, and I see that especially like for me personally, personally, I am interested in stocks, like the exchange and all of that now. But the problem is, reading articles on it, they are so intimidating that I don't even want to click through. And that's what you're trying to avoid, of course. You don't want to make it a fight for people to get through your content and to read what you have to say. So your brain becomes easily intimidated by the content and the information. And then with this, the brain becomes quite selective of what it decides to remember, digest, and then what it decides to forget. So if I were to look at an article with a bunch of big words, I don't think I'd be able to remember them and then even apply them in my life. So why would I remember the article or even the product or whatever else they're trying to sell me within that article? It goes into the junk box instantly. And then 7 continuous words are the brain's cap. So after 7 words, the brain needs to start using energy to remember things that are being said. This was something I learned when I was an English teacher, because especially if English is not your first language, and that's another tip I've put into my PowerPoint, always write a heading or a post as if the reader is not a first language English speaker, because that's the type of content that just works, I guess, because it's available for everyone. From English teaching, 7 words, that's the maximum a brain can automatically capture like if you were to take a little camera snap, 7 words is what the brain captures. And then after that, it forgets, or it has to put in energy to keep that channel open longer to understand the rest of the content. So count your words. Definitely, depending on your medium, either it be Google ads, Facebook ads, email, definitely consider the different the different amount of words that you would need for these headlines, as well as these posts, of course. So for example, Google search, it displays between 50 and 60 characters of each results title. So you need to have a hook and have enough detail within those 50 or 60 characters to have someone click on your Google ad. So this article that we did this presentation on, for example, would only write the 7 powerful headline formulas to convert more affiliates. So you know they're powerful, their formulas, their solutions, and they are going to convert, and it is for affiliates. So if it checks all the boxes, you'll click. And then Google often displays more characters on mobile search results, but you should still aim to be as accessible as possible. And then email, for example, subject lines can vary. So subject lines show between 40 and 60 characters, depending on the screen, if you're looking at it via desktop or mobile, of course. And then definitely make use of both the subject line and the preview text. I'll show you some good examples of how to get clicks by utilizing those 2 text boxes. And then same with Facebook. I mean, for the ads, they give you, I think, 2 or 3 lines, and then it collapses the rest of the description and posts your photo. So you have to have your hook to have people read more and click through within those first 50 characters or so. Okay, and then number 4, specify that promise. So always promise a specific outcome. People read content for solutions. They have problems, they want solutions. So whether it's a list of useful tips or an interesting story, definitely be specific. And then it builds trust with your readers and convinces them to take further action. But you have to deliver on these promises, of course. You can't promise a solution to a strategy question or a weight loss question or a vision loss question in your heading, write your whole article and not have a solution at all. But that's great for us because you guys can use our VSLs. They have brilliant copy that does just that. So make use of that as an example for your future copies. Yes, misleading your readers will damage your brand significantly, of course. People want to be able to trust what they read, and if you can't provide what you promise, then you as a source must assumably not be trustworthy either. That psychology, I don't know. It doesn't matter if 1 million people click on a headline promising one weird trick to make $1 million in affiliate marketing, but you don't provide actionable guidance to make $1 million in affiliate marketing. So what's the point? Don't be that guy. And then your starting statement and your final statement need to be similar and they need to mirror one another. That's just a copywriting tip 101. Your first sentence and your last sentence, they have to be connected because it would bring a whole article full circle, and that would just mean that you have completed your post and you have delivered on your promise and the content that you set out to share. So number 5, kill it with negative superlatives. So avoid writing dry headlines. We see thousands of headlines a day, and a lot of them are bad news headlines, but somehow still monotone in tone. I don't know. Anyway, so there's a big sea of let's say, call them gray headlines, and then you have to make sure you stand out as a red or a green headline, or just somewhere for people to want to click. So a good tip is don't over focus on strong, positive, superlative words, because it sounds too much like you're trying to pitch someone instead of trying to convince someone of something. It sounds more like a pitch. So using the words always, best, amazing, awesome. Yes, they are great, but overusing these superlatives can have a very negative impact on your results later on. So in fact, if you want to try it out, just go for the jugular, go in for the kill, use the big words, use never, use worst, use devastating, destroy. Use these strong negative words, but with a positive solution outcome at the end. And it just somehow tricks the brain, because negative headlines outperform neutral headlines by about 30%, and then positive headlines underperform neutral headlines by about 29%. So this means positive headlines might put you off by over 50% of the prospective audience, or might put off, so people would disengage. Okay, so positive results are enticing, but humans are more strongly wired to avoid negative outcomes. Gushing about how great something is can make people skeptical of your motives, but warning them about a looming danger makes you seem less biased, even if you totally are trying to sell something. So you're kind of trying to scare people beforehand and then be their superhero on the back end. Sneaky. Okay. So number 6, elicit an answer. Questions, questions, questions. And the thing is, people don't like unanswered questions, but you can be specific while still holding something back, while holding information back. For example, what's the secret to writing the perfect headline? It promises something specific. A secret to writing the perfect headline without giving anything away. So to answer this question, they'll have to definitely click on that headline to read the content. With this point, look at headlines as seeds of thought. And what I meant by this was, ultimately, you need to spark a reader's curiosity and make them think and somewhat self-reflect on a problem that they might not even know they had. So you have to place a question in front of someone that would make them question themselves or ask themselves that question, so they can feel like the answer that they want to answer themselves, not that you're asking, but that they're asking, would be answered in the next click. Definitely ask questions. It has a very strong impact and first impression on any reader. And it also sets an expectation. It definitely sets an expectation. And then questions in headlines are a great way to make a customer become aware of a problem they might never have realized they had, or it emphasizes the problem they know they have. And then people are innately curious. So if you can spark their curiosity, they'll be more likely to click your headlines and read your content. Also, questions make the topic very relatable. It makes, especially a sensitive product, for example, like hair loss, if you ask a question around it, have you wondered why there are more hairs in the shower after age 25 or whatever, it sounds a lot more relatable. It sounds less scary and less lonely. So as soon as the question's there, it instantly puts a second character to the conversation. And yeah, that's a much safer space for someone to click on a post and go to the next page where you're ultimately just going to tell them they're losing hair and this is what they have to buy. But as long as it looks good on the front end, yeah, it should work. And then number 7, compare. So a good place to learn is from product review sites. They understand that in the end, customers will ultimately just end up comparing two similar offers. So it can have the exact same, they'll end up comparing everything till they find some kind of difference to ultimately make them purchase. Especially if you are a MaxWeb affiliate, us working with supplements and being in a society nowadays where people are focusing on ingredients and they care about what they put into their bodies, you definitely have to take this into consideration because you know the people are going to be watching. So you might as well just put it there for themselves or have them find it out themselves, but it's content for you at the end of the day, doing the comparison with them, and then it can be a win, of course. So a good example would be Ninja versus Vitamix, which blends better smoothies. So this formula incorporates several of the other tips from our list, including the specificity. Oh goodness, specificity. So you know it's about blenders. You know exactly it's about the Ninja and the Vitamix brand. It uses superlatives, blends better, using the word the phrase versus is also very strong in copy headlines because it's short and sweet and it says a lot. Adding versus instantly within the first half a second shows you that somewhere there's going to be a winner, and you need to find the answer. And then lastly, it also has a question-based curiosity trigger. So it does trigger a bit of curiosity. If you are someone that are maybe interested in blenders and smoothies and a healthy diet, you've never considered testing out different blenders or even knowing that blenders blend differently. So here we put the question in front of you, make you think about it. Now you have the question and you have the article with the answer right in front of you. It's a pretty cool mind trick. And then another example, so if I were to write instead, we tested the 5 most popular blends, which makes the better smoothie. This offers a totally different angle because it replaces the head-to-head comparisons with a more list-based format. So this would be more 1 pros, 2 cons, 3. It's a whole different tone to the article. Less competitive. And then compare any similarly positioned group of things in your headline, whether it's a physical product or a service. So definitely compare 2 things that are similar. Don't try and compare products from 2 separate niches. That defeats the purpose. And as long as your content fulfills the promise of your headline's comparison, you should be able to drive affiliate sales to any or all of the offerings you compared. So the good thing about comparing things, comparing offers in your headlines is that you can promote both. It's a 2 flies with 1 stone situation. So it's good content for both products or 3 products or however many you are comparing. And then ultimately in the end, you can promote all of them again. So there are a couple of more things to consider. The list just keeps going on. In the beginning, I asked you guys, how much time do you guys take when writing your headlines? But there's a lot to it, formulas and a lot of things to consider. So a couple of more things I added was definitely leverage keywords for SEO. So add related keywords in your headlines and then make use of main headings and subheadings or subject lines and preview text in your emails, where you can, for example, use affiliate marketing in the main heading, but performance marketing in the subheading, where you would be able to then reach both of those. I mean, they're similar, but different. And then solve the prospect's problems. And you have to solve these problems in 10 words or less. So that is the weight we have to carry, or that's the pressure that headlines hold. You need to be able to have a hook, to have people click, but also ensure that you have solved a problem, or that the next click is the solution to the problem in 10 words or less. So it's not a situation about find the solution next week if you follow us today. It's if you click in the next 2 seconds of your page loading, you'll have the answer. So it's an immediate to now engagement. Add a little humor. It insinuates ease and simplicity. If you can add humor or puns, puns is always a fun one to add to headlines. It's a good way to make people feel a bit more comfortable with whatever the next chunk of information would be. It just lightens the mood instantly. Think carefully about the user's intent, how the customer used the product as a solution to their problem. So definitely, like I said before, put yourself in your customer's shoes. Think about how they would be using this product, how often they'd be using this product, why they're using this product. Maybe there's other factors to the fact that that someone would be losing hair, and it can be gut related or stress related. So there's a lot of other ways. It's a good way to think of other angles. Use empathy. So this is good for trust and rapport, because as an advertiser, as soon as a consumer sees you understanding the product, the problem, as soon as they see you understand a problem, they'll trust you with the solution that you are presenting them. And then use simple language. Like I said before, imagine English is not your reader's first language. So this does not mean dumbing down language. This just means breaking down language to the most basic form of the verb or the noun, and not using big words where you have to install a Google add-on to like a dictionary add-on to help you figure out what words mean. Just keep it as simple, because then it's as accessible for everyone as possible. And then use social trends as inspiration. And by using current trends and references, it ensures the reader that the author is up to date with trends. If you are going to be putting out content in 2021, your reader needs to know that you are consuming content from 2021. So keep it up to date, use slang, use terms, use references that the younger generations are using in your copy, and your conversions will definitely go up. Don't make false promises or bogus claims. That is an obvious one. Don't be that guy. Be obsessive about punctuation, spelling, and grammar. So punctuation influences the tone, and the tone is very important and helps the way we read and time the way we read. And a good way to look into punctuation is to look into different types of poetry and typography. So where they use literature in a form of almost create an image to help you set a tone. And then focus on the problem assumption. The more you know about the problem, the more you know about the solution. Oh yeah, so focus on the problem, because the assumption is the more you know about the problem, if you can educate your consumer, your customer on their problem, if you can educate them on the extra effects of that result into hair loss, for example, then you would look like a resource, a trustworthy resource to go to. And obviously then your product would be trusted with that. It's all about trust in the end of the day. Okay, and then lastly, this is one that I preach about a lot. We're almost at the end of our time too, but angles. And this is not to be confused with variations, copy variations. So a simple example of a variation is in the one piece of copy or in the one headline, you state 10% discount, where in the other one, a $5 coupon. But angles are more blurbs that address different audiences with different problems, interests, and lives, but that are all looking for the same solution, which is your offer. So a good little exercise that I do, if you guys want to take a screenshot, is to solve the angle block, I call it angle block, is to list as many uses of a pair of wool socks as possible. So what I do is I take a blank sheet of paper or a new page in my diary, in my journal, I draw a line through the middle, create 2 columns, and I start listing as many possible uses for wool socks as I possibly can. Tea cozies to keep my mugs warm, to keep my hands warm. You can pull it apart and use the string for something else. I don't know. It's just a very fun exercise for writer's block to get the copy juices flowing. Another one is to describe the color orange to a blind person. And then the third one, describe a teaspoon to an alien. So when I have creativity blocks, angle blocks, and I can't find a different way or a different solution or a different problem or a different way to view my offer and what I'm writing about, these exercises definitely help me just to get back in the groove of jumping between different looking and contrasting ideas instead of staying in one lane with one consecutive tone to it. So different angles can also include the use of different tones. Tones are very important. It can be either proactive problem solving, reactive problem solving. You would have a different tone to your headline on a Monday versus a Friday. A Monday, you would have a gung-ho tone to your copy, get ready for the week, let's get pumped, where on Fridays, it would be, let's reflect back on the week, let's have a chilled one, and let's relax. So definitely keep an eye out for different kinds of days and then the different tones. So addressing other people's problems, addressing other problems the audience might have. So this is something I call problem pairing, where, for example, vision impairment can be maybe related to diabetic symptoms. So that's a good way to use the copy to start cross-promoting different offers. And then consider other audiences that have similar problems. So this was an example I had yesterday where, for example, online gamblers and US graduates, they both are in need of financial literacy products, visual improvement, and back release. As an assumption, as an example, these are 2 opposite audiences entirely from different parts of the world, different motives, different situations, but they can use the same products. So it's a good way, if you start putting out content, it's a good way to find different audiences to fit your product and your offer, to start targeting them and advertising to them. And then get comfortable with analogies, draw connections between the most unrelated topics. And then I promise you, somewhere in the middle, you will find great angles that will convert. If you can find a string between A and B, you will win. And then consider the day of the week, the ages, the season, the gender, and the events and the holidays. So if you are writing angles, you are looking for angles, ask yourself about the when, the who, the where, the hows. Answer those questions, create a little avatar of your consumer, and then that's when you'll be able to start writing for your consumer. And that would be my final point, which is work backwards. So look at what your product solves, and then find the people that have the product, and then find a way to grow and reach those new audiences. Okay, so last, I have gathered a couple of examples. This was just from my own inbox and what I've been exposed to. Also, by the way, a good couple of newsletters to sign up to if you guys are interested. So this morning for Morning Brew, the subject line was dynamite. Has marijuana legalization officially won? Full stop, end stop, that's it. So when we say the subject line, that would be the dynamite part, the bold part, if you guys are unfamiliar, and then the preview line would be the last, or the second sentence. So that would back up your subject line. It's a good way to like have a reader's break too, and it reads really well. Stacked marketer, game on. So competition time. Facebook and Reddit releases some familiar features. Insinuates that there's a third player that they might be referring to. Next one, stacked marketer again, inspiration. TikTok launched a nice new feature. Google's got something fun. So the tone to that email would be inspiring and entertaining and lighthearted. And you can see it carry through the whole email subject. And then I'm sure with the article, it carries through the article too. So tones are important. It also sets up the reader for their day. Like as a content writer, you have a lot of power to put someone in a bad mood or in a good mood if they read your articles in the morning. Another one, CPA versus rev share. The battle is on. Use emojis. And then, have you ever asked yourself, CPA or rev share, which one's for me? So, telling you there's a competition on, but have you had the question? Let's answer and let's find a solution for you today because we understand your problem. And then next one, the end. And then the next word is Apple. So you already know the tone is set. This is a dreadful newsletter to receive because the end, Apple makes it official. And then there's an advertising update from Google. It goes on with the rest of the details. A couple of our blogs where we used numbers, definitely numbers and list formats, again, with solutions and making it all relatable, referring to 2021. Marketers should be using it, affiliate marketers. If you are looking to optimize banner ads and you are in, this is for you, sorry. Another one from BuzzFeed, a good place to definitely go and look for other headline inspiration is BuzzFeed because they do a really good job at that, especially the quizzes section. So this was a heading I got from BuzzFeed. It's unrelated, it's more a product section, a product article. So it's 57 Mother's Day gifts that are actually super practical. Things that mom really, truly, actually use and more than once. So they address the problem, the insinuated problem that we always get mom's bad gifts. It's a good use of both main header and subheader. And then, yeah, so like I said, BuzzFeed is great to check out for headlines because they have quizzes. So it's a good way for a quiz intro if you ever use a quiz as a pre-lander for your offers. Definitely recommended for our Facebook marketers. Okay, and then that is it from me. So questions. If you have any questions, we have come to the end of our session. Thank you for listening to me for an hour. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat and let's see if we can answer them. So, let me see. Yes, you can get a copy of the recording again on YouTube, but you can just message your affiliate manager as well, and they'll just send the link over to you as soon as possible. Also, guys, if you do have any other questions related to approvals and offers and the swag referrals, please, your affiliate managers, we put out a 15-minute time bracket after each of these webinars where they are waiting for questions. They are waiting to help. So please, 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 please hop on Skype, ping them. Let's solve your problems. Let's make your experience better. And let's make you some profit. Google is usually a billing issue. Call up your Google manager and ask them to review your copy and headlines. Need to read the terms and conditions for physical products to make sure that product doesn't contain banned ingredients. So that's a good tip for the Google ads that were banned before. If Google ad accounts are getting suspended, warm up your Google ad accounts properly before running campaigns. Definitely good to start warming up before you start running offers that are maybe not as stable or as white hat within policy as much. And then Anna said, right, warm up properly and pick offers that are search friendly, like Diabacore, Memo Surge, and Riverfall. So those offers of ours are search friendly. So if you are into search offers, please hit up your affiliates so we can get you some links to start promoting those. Hader said today I got paid $2,000 by MaxWeb, my first payment. I'm so excited to work with MaxWeb. I appreciate my affiliate manager, Andra, Sam, Andy. They are always by my side and always ready to answer my queries anytime. Thank you once again to all. Hader, that's a great review. Thank you so much. We actually like being active on Skype and replying to your guys' messages. So please, anytime if you have any questions. Yes, very nice managers. Andra, yes, she's a goodie, definitely a keeper. Is there a Facebook MaxWeb group? No, we do not have a group, but we do have the page. Would be great to network with affiliates. We do multiple six-figure revenue at the moment, and they say it's lonely at the top. Tim, we can definitely look into some sort of networking for you. But for now, we only have the Facebook page. Today we got paid out our first payment by MaxWeb, me and my twin brother Harris. So excited to work with MaxWeb. Thank you all. Yes, so if you guys didn't know about payments, we have automated our payment system. So all our affiliates get paid out automatically once a week. And it is possible for you to upgrade your payments to 3 times a week for super affiliates that need the cash quick, because we understand the necessity of cash flow. Anna, Hader, you should write a case study on how you got your sales. I hear MaxWeb pays nicely for each case study, as they like to have info for affiliates under their academy. Yes, so this is another grand announcement for our affiliates. We'll be sending out an email notifying everyone soon enough. We have started a new incentive program for MaxWeb with our affiliate partners. We are looking for case studies from you guys. So I understand the necessity of keeping strategies private, but if there has been anything that has worked in the past or that you have been very proud of sharing, please let us know. We are always interested in having content like that so we can share it back to our beginner affiliates, share it with our community. It's not a way for us to be selfish, but it's for us to give back. So if you are interested in sharing some tips or anything that you've seen happen that was interesting, please share with us. We are excited to see what's going on with how you guys go about selling our offers. Yeah. Okay, sure, Anna. I'm not so good in English because this is not my first language, but I still do try. So Hader, don't stress about it. I am the designated editor, copy editor of MaxWeb at the moment. So if there is any content that just need a bit of tweaking, I'm always happy. So please don't stress about English not being your first language. I have a history in being an English teacher, so it is actually just my pleasure. Yeah, we'd love to have other partnerships with you guys too. And then, yes, once again, your affiliate manager IDs, the Skype IDs, hit them up. Yes. Okay, great. So are there any more questions? We have come to the end of our session today. And yeah, it was a fun one. I hope that I gave you guys a couple of ideas on writing headlines. I have to say, doing this presentation has made me consider the way I go about it too. And yeah, if you guys get any cool results, if you do end up testing some of these strategies and something fun pops up, let us know, and then we'll use that as a case study. Other than that, if there are no more questions, Carol, thank you. Compliments all around. No more questions? Nope. Okay. Let's save the chat. It has definitely been my pleasure chatting to you guys. If there is also anything else you would like me to chat about on these webinars, definitely let me know. Yeah, I'm always happy to share. So no more questions, going once, going twice. Cool. Have a good day and have a good profitable Wednesday. Okay, bye.